Hello, everyone. Welcome to Commsverse. This is session 220, using Microsoft Teams for customer interaction, a multi-channel approach. And today will be presented to you by Peter Hobor. Peter, you are live and ready to go.
Thank you very much, and welcome everyone on Commsverse. And we, Geomont, are a proud sponsor of Commsverse, along other companies. Thanks for them as well. So let's just get started. And what we are talking about today is Bazizi Contact Center for Teams, and as the title says, from the multi-channel approach. Before we go into the demonstration, that will be the majority of the presentation, the session, by the way, let's just have a quick introduction, talk a little bit about the business context. And as said, the majority will be the demonstration. And I will show some architecture diagrams as well, who are interested, and we will have a Q&A session. And there will be a follow-up meeting after this session, so get your questions. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Peter Hobor. I'm the CTO and CPO of Geomont. So my responsibility to manage the products from both technology and go-to-market perspective. A few sentences about Geomont. Geomont was founded in 2000, so we are probably 20 years old. Unfortunately, the COVID is not really helping us to celebrate this properly, but we are trying to. A few things to highlight: that are a gold Microsoft partner on multi-gold, actually, and we are proud that we were part of the technology adaptation program right from the beginning, and we are very close to the Microsoft ecosystem. We also work with Avaya technologies, but today here we are more focusing on our offerings around Microsoft. We are all around the world, having customers around the world and offices around the world. Where are we coming from? And let's just set the scene why the topic that we are presenting is with us. Our vision is to enable enterprises to succeed through effortless customer interactions with the technologies of today and tomorrow. So we were, in our last 20 years, always focusing, helping enterprises on the customer interaction. So this really fits into this context where we are at the moment from business perspective and the ecosystem of Teams. And let's just have a look at this ecosystem from this perspective. When we look at how customer engagement is changing, we see that there's digital channels, mobile apps, smartphones are really there. 85% is a really high penetration for that. And that figure, like 10 billion messages exchanged between people and businesses each month, is really high. So we cannot neglect that digitalization is coming. But, and there is a big but that we always highlight coming from the voice world and the contact center world. Still, 74% of contact center traffic is still voice. So we cannot do any solution that is to manage customer engagement and customer interaction that cannot handle voice. So it's really important. And it's not just important from that perspective, that voice itself, but also when there is a digital channel and there is a self-service, very high percent, when you still need to have the voice and the human touch through that. So what we are saying, that voice is not to be replaced, but orchestrated and complemented. So this is one aspect of our business background and context of our offering. Let's just have a look at on Teams. This will be a pretty quick one because you guys here on Commsverse, for sure, nothing new here. What I would like to highlight is that we, as who are working not just with Microsoft technology, but others as well, we could see that the work from home transition was very easier for those who used Microsoft Teams for this transition than those who used their incumbent UC platform, because they had serious challenges to manage the transition to work from home. Those who chose Microsoft Teams, they were really easily transitioned to work from home. But actually, even before the pandemic, Teams was boosting. So the Skype for Business end of life, of course, is a real enforcement and initiative for most of the companies to look around and also to make sure that all those workloads that were around on Skype for Business can still be managed at Teams as well. And this is where our solution come into play, a contact center. Because those who had a contact center on their previous UC or on Skype for Business, when they transition to Microsoft Teams, this is really important for them to be able to have the contact center functionality within Teams. Otherwise, they need to maintain another UC, a parallel UC solution. So this is why we believe that from a business requirement perspective and value proposition perspective, having a contact center solution for Teams is a must. So let me show you what we have and what is to be demonstrated. What we have is a PSTN connectivity for the voice using Teams direct routing. We do have some basic call treatments like greeting, but we also have an IVR for more complex even self-service flows. We do have full agent state management, skill-based routing. I will show you the agent user interface, the supervisor reports, and from a voice connectivity perspective, we support both the hybrid and the full cloud solution. And as the title of this session highlighted, we are not just focusing on the voice. And a matter of fact, we first started with the digital channels. So that's why here that on top of these that are really just focusing on the Microsoft Teams side, we do support various digital channels, self-service bots, channel hopping, meaning moving from one channel to the other, and always escalation to agent. Also important to mention that we integrate this with the Teams recording that is powered by Verin Verba. There will be another session by my colleague about this, where we will also present our solution on the Teams recording. So let's have a look at the solution itself, and let's see the demo. So what we see here is a Teams client, this being a Teams conference. So let's, of course, start with the Teams client. And we have a real-time dashboard here showing both the calls and also the agents. At the moment, we have 4 agents. All of them are on break. And we see that there were 5 calls handled. Service level is not that good, 60%. And while I'm there, I'm break, so I'm not there yet ready to. But you can see this in Teams. There is a BI tab as well. Let's just rather come back to that later. And we have the agent workspace itself available within Teams itself. So what you see now is our BuzzEasy contact center for Teams agent user interface. So that's where you can handle your agent status and the interactions as well. We can support popping this out to a browser window. And to be honest, this is our preferred solution at the moment until apps can be popped out from Teams, but it's fully synced. So as you can see, I changed the status on the browser, and it updated this as well. So let me go back to break before I place a call. So now I'm an agent logged in. So if we go back to the reporting, then it shall refresh, and it will show that I'm still on break. But I started a call, and let's just get this connected. Yep, it connected, and there is one customer waiting at the moment, and that's me from my mobile. And let me just go back to the agent interface, change myself to available. And as you see, immediately popped up the window, and we see both our user interface showing the incoming call, and there was a Teams toast as well. At the moment, Teams does not allow programmatically answer the call, so that's why you cannot answer within our application. You can answer on your headset or on your Teams client itself. So this is the user interface. Here you have the call controls. You can transfer the call. to another agent. So at the moment, all the agents are on break. So let me just quickly go back and change Adele to available. Yes. So once she became available, then I can transfer the call to that agent directly from this interface. You can also transfer to queues. And as we don't have that much queues, but if there were a lot of queues, I can search on the queues. And by the way, I could search for the agents as well. So there is a search interface. So I started to Teams, almost Teams, it's just T, but still filters the Teams related queues here in our contact center. So this is the user interface from a call perspective. And I can hang up here. Let me just bring back the mobile. And if I hang up here, then my call has gone on my mobile. And I can close the call with a disposition code. So I can set the status, tag this call for reporting purposes. So all was good. And now I'm ready and waiting for another incoming interaction. So let's just go back here to the real-time dashboard. So now the handled calls increased to 6, and I'm idle. So I'm ready to take the next interaction. Okay, so let's me move to a WhatsApp client on my mobile. And this can be any other digital channel. So this can be a Twitter direct message, Viber in some regions. That's the popular, or Facebook Messenger. And what you can see, I just greeted the company, and I'm not talking to a bot. So you see that I was greeted by the bot by my name because I talked to this company before. So I provided my name, and by using my WhatsApp, I was recognized. So I received a link back from the bot about my question, and this is backed up by Microsoft Q&A Maker. And if I want to, I can connect to an agent. So I asked for service desk, and now I'm connected to an agent. And the agent can see on the right-hand side the customer history, so can see that when this customer was connected, and also can see some suggested responses. AI-driven suggested responses, and can directly write to the customer, and that will appear on the WhatsApp client. So here, the agent can see from the history that there was some interaction with the bot already, and can talk about the context based on the history as well. So in this example, the customer actually asked the same question again, and the suggested response was the same link that was already provided. So here, the agent could see that, hey, the bot already provided this link, so I shouldn't just send this again, but rather just ask what was the problem, for example, with that link, and send some personalized message to the customer. So here, the customer is saying something, and actually now the customer on WhatsApp opened the camera and sending a photo of the screen. Well, that's my own screen here. So imagine that the customer was sending a screen. So as you can see, that the agent could get immediately that attachment, that photo that the customer was taking to WhatsApp, and continue the conversation based on that. Well, let's just do one more thing here. So when we call back again, while still talking with or chatting with this customer, and this call arrived again. So you see the toast there. So I answered the call, and now I have a chat and the voice call at the same time. So this is a configuration that we can set. If an agent is able to handle multiple interactions, then we can manage that. And our user interface is pretty flexible. So you can either swap between the screens, or you can have those two interactions on the same screen, color coded to make sure that the agent will see that these are maybe different customers that they need to talk to. And still, you can have the WhatsApp chat with the customer and talk with another one. Of course, this is up to the agent training and skills if they can manage that. And as I was active on the call, so you can see there's a little bubble there showing that I had a WhatsApp message coming. So if this was not there, then you could do that. Same way you can transfer the call. All those features are available that are on the full screen. So I just hung up and close this, and I'm still with that WhatsApp customer. Let me show another channel. So that's a basic web channel here. So what we see here is, well, we just quickly created a little chat window to our Comsverse booth. By the way, feel free to visit our booth anytime during Comverse. And as you can see here, because this is not an authenticated channel, so the bot will ask you questions from the contact information, name, and all that kind of stuff. And as you see now, the customer asking some questions that the bot could answer, and some that the bot cannot answer, like this silly one. So you see that at this point we are directly connected to an agent. So let me just split my screen here, and you can see that now I have a WhatsApp and I have a web chat, and all distinguished by these nice logos, and you can always follow which customer you are chatting with. You can have the customer information, you can swap between these, and if there is any activity, you will be notified which tab to go to. And again, here you can have both chat on the same screen and have that conversation quickly and easily managed in our user interface. So let me just have some conversation with the web-based one. Have a little fun here, but as we see that this is not really a serious conversation, so we shall quickly close this down. And as you can see, even with this small talk type of things, you can have suggested responses that the agent can quickly use, and basically can close this conversation herself or himself by choosing a closure code, as we shown before, and tagging that this was not really an important one. And what is also important to show, and I will show you that later, that the agent is gone, but the bot conversation is back. So now the customer is talking again with the bot, and on the bot we have a small survey, basically just rate 1 to 5. Let's just come back to the real-time dashboard, because we can see that there are now different type of call outcomes or conversational outcomes codes visible here. So that's also something that you can see. And as I'm talking pretty fast here, then the service level is better than when we started this session. So that's good. So I said that we will come back to the BI. So let's now go to the BI tab. Again, we are in Teams. There is an embedded BI tab. And this one is a digital channel report. We don't really have time to go into the details. So if you are interested, please come to our booth. But basically here we have one that is on the bots versus agent. So we are not that bad. The bot can handle the majority of the conversations here based on this diagram. And also there is another report on how much time and how that was escalated to an agent. This part is a special one on showing the most common unanswered occurrences on the Q&A. So that's also something that helps. Let's just go a little bit to the voice one. So this is a dark theme one because that's really up to the way you are using your Teams, for example. And these are call-related information, standard call center stuff, average handle time, queue time, abandon rate, and this type of stuff. So let me open the browser and go to Power BI Online. And as you could imagine, the same report is there online, because basically this is the one that is embedded into the Teams tab on our application on Teams. So same reports are there. The way we can deliver this is a simple Power BI application. So it's pretty easy to install on the BI tenant, Power BI tenant of the customer. So let's just swap to Power BI Desktop, because of course these reports were created in Power BI Desktop, And again, the same reports are here, but in Power BI Desktop, we can customize these. So there are some custom reports already here, but let me just quickly create one that is a donut chart. Let me make it big. And let's just, for example, have one when we have the name of the queues, and that is so you can see that all the information that is available throughout our reporting service is available here. We have OData Open API available that you can use to get your data presented. And let me just count the call IDs. And basically that's it. So I just really wanted to show you how easy is that. Of course, you need to review and understand all that data that's available to the data source. But basically, to put together a brand new report is like that. Let's just go to the admin interface, and let me show you what is under the hood. The entry point to all of these is the channel. So we have here, for example, a Converse demo as a channel. We have another one, and actually, as both are using the same workflow, let me show you that we have the voice channel enabled, and here we configured which phone number. So basically, this is the call center number that I dialed is used, and this is the workflow to be executed upon this number is called. So let me show you how a workflow looks like. And again, well, in this short time, it's really just a sneak peek. If you are interested, come to our booth and we can go into the details. So on the workflow, the main part is the routing. And for the voice part, the agent section is what is really important. So this is where we have the queue treatment, the selection type, and also here we have properties that we can use and attributes that we can use to choose who is the best agent. So on this one, it's a simple one. Basically, all we need is that the converse attribute must be higher than 1. So this is what we said in this set in this routing. And the queue treatment is like which music to play, what announcement to say. We don't have time to go to the details of that. But let me just show you the agent part. And on the agent, basically, you can imagine that that I need to have this attribute, this skill. And I'm 5. One shall be enough, but I'm skilled skill level 5 on this, so that's why I could handle these calls. Let's go back to the workflow, and let me also show you the digital channel, the messaging workflow as well. Very similar. So let's just go to the routing piece. So here, as we have dialogues as well, it's a little bit more busy than the previous one was. So here, first we ask the name, and remember, I was not asked because on the I was known by the system, so that's why I wasn't asked, and the system knew that the required customer data is the first name that was there, so that's why it was not asked. But on the web interface, it was asked. So this is a bot, a data collector type of bot. And once I'm finished, I go to the FAQ bot. So this is something we could also see. And there are different type of bots you can select, and this can be your own bot. So we support bring your own bot, very custom bot can be executed at this point as well. In this time, this is a Q&A bot that you can configure which FAQ configuration is to be used. Because as said, we are using the Q&A maker, but you don't need to go to the Q&A maker because we provide user interface to configure that as well. So if you come here and go to the Q&A maker, so basically what we do here, we download the configuration through the API, and all those Q&As are configurable through our user interface as well. So let me go back to the workflow where we were. So we were at the Q&A, and after the Q&A, we go to an agent, and there is a threshold. So if the confidence level is below 70%, so 0.7, then we immediately go to an agent. We could do like offering multiple answers as well if we wanted, but here we go to an agent. And the agent is very similar that was for the voice, and we also just set the skill, the converse skill here, and it's also configured to go after the call or after the chat to the survey. So that was configured there that you could see on the demo. And this is again a data collection type of bot. And this is what is then taking you to a pre-configured template. And this is a pretty simple one. And that was a little confusing. It's called Facebook, but actually it's across other channels as well. And as you could see, there were quick replies, suggested responses. So that is something that is configured here. Well, we are running out of time, so and sorry about this the speed, but we really wanted to show you the basics of our solution live on the system itself to have a feeling what we have, and also to show how easy it is to configure all of these that you could see there. So let's just go back a little bit and talk about what is behind and why we are so flexible. We have the so-called Bazizi orchestration platform behind our solution. And let's just have a few words about what that is. What we could see that being in the customer interaction, customer engagement business for the last 20 years, we could see that there are these new channels coming on the customer side, and there are more and more application, line of business, unified communication, call center, CRM, and all that kind of stuff coming on the agent side. So both sides started to become busy. There are some siloed solutions to support these, but we saw that there is something missing. And that is where we positioned the Bazizi orchestration platform. And our approach is to manage all of these interactions based on 4 pillars. One is that we manage the customer side, the customer experience, with that silo we call Channel Connect. So you could see that. So this is the gateways to the social media, the website, the UI, and all that kind of stuff. On the right-hand side, we provide support for the agent to have the best agent experience, and this is called Agent Connect. This includes the full user interface, but sometimes we are just adding the missing pieces. If only chat is missing, we can add that as well. On the top, so that's where the intelligent is coming from. So this is called Intelligent Connect, and sometimes it is artificial intelligence, sometimes it is not artificial, so just logic-based CRM lookup and just some routing based on that. But sometimes we are using AI, and for AI, what is the most important? To have the data. And the 4th pillar is Data Connect, and this is where we are orchestrating and having this data collaboration together to get the data for analytics, for AI, and for the intelligent decisions made on the Intelligent Connect side of the equation. So basically, this is in the background. And if we quickly look at how that looks like from a Teams contact center perspective, so here you could see that the Channel Connect, there we had this all channels, Facebook, Viber, Twitter, direct message. So then the Intelligent Connect came with the NLP and AI-based bot. Then the workflow routed the call to the relevant bot, and then we had the intelligent routing, the attribute-based routing, finding the agent, and we had all the analytics on the Data Connect side powered by Power BI and the real-time information provided on Teams. The user interface can be within Teams, can be standalone as shown, or can be embedded into a CRM. We're running out of time, but I think we have a few minutes to talk about the enterprise voice architecture. Let's start with the hybrid mode. Those who are reluctant to send their voice traffic to someone else, what we can have a Bazizi hybrid call connector, and in this case, all we need is Azure Service Bus connectivity. So on the middle, you can see that this is a normal service bus, and the voice traffic remains on the data center or on the premises of the customer or on the company who serves the voice traffic to the given company. So this is option one. The second option, when you don't need to install anything, you can configure your SBC to send the call center traffic to our Azure data center. So that is where we take control over that. We manage all the call center functionality. And when we need an agent, then we are routing that call directly back to the SBC, and Teams direct routing will find the agent. And we provide the additional information and the user interface through standard HTTPS. The digital channels are directly coming to our data center. And there is a third option. And this third option is to directly connect the PSTN or the SIP provider to our data center. In case we manage the voice traffic, and we can directly connect to the Teams tenant through direct routing. And this is how the voice traffic can reach then the agent. All the rest is the same. From the components perspective, all three scenarios are exactly the same. So the same components are used in the cloud and on premises as well. And this is fully running on Azure, natively created in Azure, specifically for the digital channels and Teams. Thank you very much. And if you are interested, please visit our booth. And also you can find more information on our website and also on Microsoft App Source. And we are proud that our solution is a Microsoft preferred solution on App Source. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Peter. We do have a question in the Q&A, so I'll read it to you. What AI chatbot capabilities do you have for the digital channels?
We do have some built-in out-of-the-box. Q&A Maker is, for example, that. So basically, if you have an FAQ database, either on the website or in an Excel sheet that you can feed, then you can create an AI-based bot in minutes, literally. So that's not just a marketing BS here, but actually in minutes you can have that. Of course, if you have the data for that. For more advanced AI-based bots, we support adding custom bots, and I can give you a few examples that we created earlier. There was a company where actually it was before the pandemic. The workers had the bus scheduled to take them to the company, and they could use a bot to reserve their seat through that, and that was a fully AI-based bot. And actually, that was connected to a Google Calendar, so you can have tricky scenarios as well. And we do have the place that connect those to the overall flow, and you can configure on the shown workflow interface when and how to start that AI-based bot, and whatever information collected that can be passed back to our contact center and used for making further decisions or to provide information to the agent. So basically, any bots that you can do. Here we are in a Microsoft community, but we also created a connector to Google Dialogflow. So those who prefer to build their bots there can use that as well. But those who are using the Microsoft technologies and using the Azure Bot framework, this is something that natively supported by our solution.
Great, thanks a lot, Peter. And if you guys would like to talk with Peter following this session, you can find him in the session breakout area. Please check the Q&A for the link that was just posted, so you can have some one-on-one conversations with Peter here in a minute or two when he heads over to the breakout room. So thanks a lot, everyone, and thanks for attending Commsverse.
Thank you. Have a good one.